The crystal champagne flute slips from Victoria Thompson's manicured fingers and shatters against the marble floor of her historic Trad Street mansion. Behind her, my husband Michael freezes mid-sentence, the morning paper still clutched in. His hands as he stares at the glossy magazine spread featuring our 78-foot yacht Serendipity anchored in Charleston Harbor. Victoria's face has gone completely white, her usual composure cracking like the expensive crystal at her feet. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. "This can't be real," she whispers, her voice barely audible above the gentle tick of the antique grandfather clock in her pristine foyer. "Emma, tell me this is some kind of mistake." I take a slow sip of my coffee, maintaining perfect eye contact with the woman who once told me I'd never be able to give her son the life he deserved. The irony isn't lost on me that she's standing in her family's Charleston mansion, surrounded by 3 generations of Thompson achievements, while staring at photographic evidence that I've just purchased something worth more than her husband's advertising agency makes in 2 years. "It's not a mistake, Victoria," I say calmly, setting my cup down on her antique side table without using a coaster. A small rebellion she would normally correct immediately. Southern coastal living and luxury doesn't make mistakes when they feature the region's most impressive vessels. The magazine lies open between us, 6 full pages showcasing not just the yacht, but my business, my success, and my vision for luxury living in the Lowcountry. The headline reads, "Young Entrepreneurs Making Waves, Charleston's Rising Luxury Market." And there I am on the cover, standing confidently at the helm of Serendipity with the Charleston skyline creating a perfect backdrop behind me. My name is Emma Rodriguez, and for the past 5 years, I've been living a double life in one of America's most traditional cities. To my husband's family and their established Charleston social circle, I was simply Michael's wife who dabbled in some little import business that barely seemed worth mentioning at their country club gatherings. To the luxury goods industry spanning from Milan to Miami, I was the founder and CEO of Meridian Luxury Imports, a company that had quietly revolutionized how high-end European furniture and art moved through the American Southeast. The morning had started like any other in the Thompson household routine. Michael left early for his marketing manager position at Thompson & Associates, the family advertising agency that his grandfather had founded in 1962. Victoria had called to invite me for our monthly coffee date, a thinly veiled inspection disguised as mother-daughter bonding time. I'd arrived at her meticulously maintained antebellum mansion at precisely 10 o'clock, as was expected in the Thompson family's carefully orchestrated social schedule. What Victoria didn't know was that this morning, while she was arranging her imported orchids and preparing her usual subtle criticisms about my career choices, distribution trucks were delivering the latest issue of Southern Coastal Living and Luxury to newsstands across the Southeast, the magazine that had been sitting in my office for 2 weeks, waiting for this exact moment. "But how?" Victoria stammers, sinking into her silk-upholstered chair as if her legs can no longer support her. "How did you afford something like this? Michael's salary at the agency, it's comfortable, but it's not yacht money." I almost smile at her assumption that any significant purchase in our household would naturally come from her son's income. It's the same assumption that has colored every interaction we've had since Michael brought me home to meet his parents 6 years ago. The same assumption that led her to suggest I might want to consider a more traditional role supporting my husband's career advancement rather than pursuing my own entrepreneurial interests. "The yacht was purchased entirely through Meridian Luxury Imports," I explain, watching her carefully manicured eyebrows furrow in confusion. "My company has been expanding rapidly over the past few years. We now handle luxury furnishings for resort properties from Kiowa Island to Key West, with international suppliers in Italy, France, and Spain." Michael looks up from the magazine, his expression shifting from shock to something approaching wonder. In 6 years of marriage, he's never seen his mother at a loss for words. Victoria Thompson has an opinion about everything, from the proper way to arrange flowers for a dinner party to the most advantageous social connections for advancing one's position in Charleston society. She has never, in Michael's memory, been speechless. "But you work from that little office in the warehouse district," she manages, as if geographical location somehow determines business success. "I thought you were just selling some furniture pieces to local designers." The warehouse district office that Victoria has dismissed as inadequate actually houses a sophisticated operation managing millions of dollars in luxury goods transactions. The little office contains a showroom featuring pieces that individually cost more than most people's cars, with a logistics operation that coordinates container shipments from European ports to exclusive American markets. The warehouse district location allows us to handle large-scale imports efficiently, I continue, enjoying the way her certainty about my limitations is crumbling with each revelation. "We're the exclusive American distributor for 3 major Italian furniture houses and 2 French textile manufacturers. Last year, Meridian handled the complete interior furnishing for 4 luxury resort properties and 37 private estates." Victoria's hand trembles slightly as she reaches for her own coffee cup, a delicate piece of family china that has been passed down through generations of Thompson women. The cup rattles against the saucer as she lifts it, betraying her complete inability to process this information. "The magazine article mentions international expansion," Michael says, his voice carrying a note of something I haven't heard before. "Respect, perhaps, or simply recognition." "Emma, I had no idea the scope had grown so much." This acknowledgement from my husband hits deeper than Victoria's shock. Michael has always been supportive in that gentle, condescending way that men sometimes adopt when they believe their wives are pursuing harmless hobbies that shouldn't be taken too seriously. He's attended my business events when his schedule allowed, made appropriate conversation about my work when asked, and never interfered with my decisions. But he's also never asked probing questions about growth, profitability, or strategic planning. "The European expansion launched 6 months ago," I tell him, maintaining the same calm tone I've perfected for client presentations. "We opened a Yacht sourcing office in Milan and established partnerships with luxury manufacturers who had never worked with American distributors before. The Mediterranean yacht show circuit has been particularly valuable for networking with high-net-worth individuals who appreciate quality craftsmanship." Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Victoria sets down her coffee cup with the deliberate precision of someone trying to maintain control while their world shifts beneath them. "And the yacht?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. "Serendipity was built by Ferretti Custom Line," I explain, referencing the Italian shipyard known for creating vessels for European royalty and American tech moguls. 78 feet, custom interior design featuring pieces from our furniture. Partners, capable of hosting intimate gatherings or serving as a floating showroom for potential clients. The business justification is partially true. Serendipity does serve as an impressive venue for entertaining high-end clients and showcasing the kind of lifestyle that Meridian's luxury goods can create. But the deeper truth is that I bought the yacht because I could, because it represented everything Victoria had implied was beyond my reach, and because it positioned me definitively in Charleston's upper echelon of luxury lifestyle participants. "A floating showroom," Victoria repeats numbly, as if testing the concept against her understanding of appropriate business practices. Michael moves closer to examine the magazine photographs more carefully. There I am in the main salon, surrounded by Italian leather furniture and French crystal lighting fixtures, discussing the intersection of luxury goods and experiential marketing with the magazine's lifestyle editor. Another shot shows me on the aft deck, the Charleston Harbor bridge creating a dramatic backdrop as I gesture toward the city skyline, while explaining how location and presentation influence luxury consumer behavior. "The photographer spent 3 days shooting," I mentioned casually. "They wanted to capture both the business aspect and the lifestyle integration. The magazine's readers are exactly our target demographic for the residential design services we're launching next quarter. Victoria's carefully constructed social world has always revolved around incremental status improvements and strategic relationship management. The right charity board positions, the appropriate country club memberships, the correct balance of old Charleston traditions with acceptable modern adaptations. The idea that someone could simply purchase their way into the top tier of luxury lifestyle participation, bypassing decades of careful social climbing, represents a fundamental challenge to her worldview. The article mentions that you're being featured at next month's Charleston Food and Wine Festival, Michael notes, continuing to read. Something about hosting an exclusive reception aboard Serendipity for luxury lifestyle influencers. I nod, remembering the conversation with the festival organizers who had approached Meridian about providing furniture and decor for VIP areas. When they learned about the yacht, they immediately requested to host one of their most exclusive events aboard Serendipity, positioning me not as a vendor, but as a luxury lifestyle ambassador. 40 guests, invitation only, I confirm. Food prepared by Chef Marcus from Peninsula Grill, wine pairings from our French partners, and an exhibition of Mediterranean-inspired furniture pieces against the Charleston Harbor sunset. The guest list includes editors from 3 luxury publications and buyers from resort properties across the Southeast. Victoria stares at me as if I've started speaking a foreign language. In her careful Charleston social calculus, there are established procedures for gaining entry to exclusive events. Committee participation, charitable contributions, appropriate introductions through existing social connections. The concept of being courted by event organizers because of one's business success and luxury assets represents a shortcut that undermines her lifelong approach to social advancement. But how long has this been happening? She asks, her voice gaining strength as she struggles to understand the timeline. When did you become someone who gets invited to exclusive events? The question reveals the depth of her misconceptions about my business development over the past 5 years. While Victoria has been monitoring my social media for appropriate Charleston wife behavior and making subtle suggestions about focusing more energy on supporting Michael's career advancement, I've been building relationships with luxury goods, manufacturers, resort property developers, and high-net-worth individuals across 3 continents. The business has been growing steadily since our 2nd year, I explain patiently. The breakthrough came when we secured the exclusive contract for furnishing the Ocean House renovation on Kiowa Island. That led to referrals from other resort properties, which opened doors to private estate clients, which eventually connected us with European manufacturers looking for American market entry. Michael sits down heavily in one of his mother's antique chairs, the magazine still open in his hands. The Ocean House contract, he says slowly. That was 3 years ago. You mentioned it was a significant project, but I thought you meant significant for a small business, not significant in terms of industry impact. His admission stings because it reveals how thoroughly he's underestimated my professional capabilities. The Ocean House renovation was a $12 million project that established Meridian as a serious player in the luxury hospitality market. It generated coverage in 5 industry publications, led to contracts with 3 additional resort properties, and created the foundation for our European expansion. The Ocean House project established our reputation in the luxury hospitality sector. I continue, keeping my voice neutral despite the growing frustration at having to explain achievements that should have been obvious to the people closest to me. That success attracted attention from private estate owners who wanted the same level of design sophistication for their homes. The residential market proved even more profitable because individual clients have fewer budget constraints than corporate property managers. Victoria stands abruptly and walks to her front window, gazing out at the historic Charleston streetscape that has remained essentially unchanged for 2 centuries. Her family's mansion represents old Charleston money, accumulated through generations of careful investment and social positioning. The idea that someone could achieve comparable luxury status through entrepreneurial success within a 5-year time frame challenges everything she understands about how wealth and social position are properly acquired. "And now you own a yacht that costs more than most people's houses," she says to the window, her reflection showing an expression of complete bewilderment. "The yacht represents sound business investment," I reply, though we both know it represents much more than that. Luxury clients respond to authenticity. They want to work with someone who understands their lifestyle because she lives it herself. Serendipity positions Meridian as a luxury lifestyle brand rather than just a furniture distributor. The business justification is accurate, but incomplete. The deeper truth is that Serendipity represents vindication after years of being patronized by people who couldn't see beyond their assumptions about my potential. It's proof that I've not only succeeded in giving Michael the luxury lifestyle his mother insisted he deserved, but that I've exceeded her most ambitious expectations for our family's social and economic position. Michael closes the magazine and looks directly at me for the first time since the conversation began. "Emma, I owe you an apology," he says quietly. "I've been treating your business like a hobby when it's clearly a major enterprise. I should have been paying more attention, asking better questions, understanding what you were building." His acknowledgement means more to me than Victoria's shock because it represents the beginning of recognition from the person whose opinion matters most. Michael's support has always been genuine but superficial, the kind of encouragement offered to someone pursuing interesting but ultimately inconsequential activities. His realization that he's been fundamentally misunderstanding my professional achievements creates an opportunity for our relationship to evolve into something more equal and collaborative. I tried to share details about the business growth, I remind him gently. But every time I mentioned expansion plans or major contracts, the conversation seemed to shift to other topics. Michael winces, clearly remembering specific instances of dismissing my business updates in favor of discussing his own work challenges or his parents' social events. "You're right," he admits. "I was so focused on my own career advancement and meeting Mom and Dad's expectations that I didn't recognize how successfully you were building something completely independent." Victoria turns from the window, her composure beginning to return as she processes this new reality. "And the magazine feature?" she asks. "How did that happen?" "The editor spotted Serendipity at Charleston Harbor Marina," I explain. "She was researching a story about young entrepreneurs in the luxury market and recognized the yacht from Italian design publications. The interview process took 2 months, including visits to our European suppliers and documentation of our client projects. The magazine feature represents external validation from an industry that Victoria respects but has never penetrated. Southern coastal living and luxury caters to the demographic she aspires to influence, featuring the kind of lifestyle and luxury goods that represent the pinnacle of sophisticated living in the American Southeast. Being selected for their cover story positions me as an authority figure in exactly the social and economic sphere she has spent decades trying to access through traditional Charleston society channels. 2 months of interviews, Victoria repeats, her mind clearly working to reconcile this timeline with her perception of my business activities. "And they featured you as a young entrepreneur making waves in the luxury market." The phrase, "making waves," carries particular significance in Charleston, where maritime culture and harbor activities represent essential elements of local identity. The magazine's recognition that I'm literally and figuratively making waves in Charleston's luxury market acknowledges not just business success, but cultural impact in a city where both matter enormously. As Victoria processes this information, I can see her mental gears turning, calculating how this revelation affects her social positioning and family reputation. The Thompson family has always derived their status from Richard's advertising agency, success, and their historical Charleston roots. Having a daughter-in-law featured as a luxury lifestyle entrepreneur in a prominent regional publication represents a significant enhancement to their social capital, even if it means acknowledging that her previous assessments of my potential were completely incorrect. The grandfather clock chimes 11, marking an hour since Victoria first opened the magazine and discovered that everything she thought she knew about her son's marriage was wrong. In the silence that follows, I realize this is just the beginning of a much larger conversation about expectations, assumptions, and the way forward for our family relationships. The shattered crystal on the marble floor catches the morning light streaming through Victoria's carefully maintained windows, creating tiny rainbows that dance across the surface of the magazine spread. It seems like an appropriate metaphor for this moment when old assumptions have been broken and new possibilities are beginning to emerge from the wreckage of previous misconceptions. The sound of Victoria's cell phone ringing cuts through the tension like a blade. She glances at the screen and her face goes even paler, if that's possible. "It's Diana Wright," she whispers, referring to her closest friend and fellow Palmetto Bay Country Club member. She always calls when she's seen something newsworthy. Victoria stares at the phone as it continues ringing, clearly torn between her usual impulse to share social news with Diana and her current state of complete disorientation about what this news actually means for her family's reputation. After the 6th ring, she reluctantly answers. "Hello, Diana," Victoria says, her voice artificially bright in that way Charleston ladies perfect for managing social conversations when they're internally screaming. Even from across the room, I can hear Diana's excited chatter bleeding through the phone. Victoria's expression cycles through confusion, embarrassment, and something that might be panic as her friend presumably gushes about seeing me featured in the luxury magazine. "Yes, that's Emma," Victoria confirms weakly. "Michael's wife. Yes, the yacht is theirs." Each admission seems to physically pain her, as if acknowledging my success out loud makes it more real and therefore more threatening to her carefully constructed worldview. Michael watches his mother navigate this conversation with growing awareness of how thoroughly his family has underestimated his wife. He's beginning to understand that this isn't just about one magazine article or one expensive purchase, but about a fundamental misreading of who I am and what I've been building while they weren't paying attention. "Diana wants to know if we'll be attending the yacht club's summer regatta," Victoria says, covering the phone with her hand. "Apparently, they're hoping you might bring Serendipity for the luxury vessel exhibition." The Charleston Yacht Club's Summer Regatta represents the pinnacle of local maritime social events, where old Charleston families display their sailing heritage, and new money demonstrates their acquisition of appropriate coastal lifestyle accessories. Victoria has attended for decades as a spectator and social participant, but never as someone with a vessel worthy of exhibition consideration. "The regatta committee contacted me last week," I inform her calmly. "Serendipity has been selected as one of 12 featured vessels for the luxury exhibition. We'll be hosting an evening reception aboard for regatta sponsors and VIP guests." Victoria's hand tightens on the phone as she absorbs this information. Being selected to host regatta events positions our family not as attendees or observers, but as central participants in Charleston's most prestigious maritime social gathering. It's a level of social prominence that she's aspired to for years, but never achieved through traditional channels. "I need to call you back, Diana," Victoria says quickly, ending the conversation before her friend can ask more questions that Victoria can't answer. She sets the phone down with shaking hands and looks at me with an expression I've never seen before. Fear, maybe, or recognition that everything she thought she knew about social hierarchy and family positioning has just been turned upside down. "You're hosting a regatta reception," she states, as if testing whether saying it out loud makes it less surreal. "The Charleston Harbor Pilots Association specifically requested Serendipity for their annual sponsor appreciation event," I explain. "They wanted a vessel that could accommodate 40 guests comfortably, while showcasing the kind of luxury lifestyle that attracts premium sponsorship support. The event coordinator said our yacht represents exactly the image they want to project for Charleston as a world-class luxury destination." Michael stands up and walks to the window where his mother had been standing, gazing out at the historic street as if trying to reconcile the familiar Charleston landscape with this new information about his wife's prominence in local luxury. Circles. "How long have you been involved with the yacht club events?" he asks without turning around. "This is the first year Serendipity qualified for exhibition," I reply. "But Meridian has been providing luxury furnishings for Yacht Club events for the past 3 years. The Commodore's wife specifically requests our European pieces for their high-profile gatherings." Victoria sinks deeper into her chair as another assumption crumbles. She's been a Yacht Club member for 20 years, participating in their social events and fundraising activities, but never achieving the level of influence that comes with being a preferred vendor or vessel host. The idea that I've been building relationships with Yacht Club leadership while she remained unaware adds another layer of humiliation to her growing realization about my actual social and business positioning. "The Commodore's wife," Victoria repeats faintly. "Margaret Harrison." Margaret has been instrumental in connecting Meridian with other Charleston luxury lifestyle events, I continue. She understands the importance of quality European furnishings for creating the right atmosphere for high-net-worth social gatherings. She introduced us to the organizers of the Charleston Food and Wine Festival, the Spoleto After-Party Series, and the Gibby's Museum's contemporary art auction events. Each name I mention represents another circle of Charleston influence that Victoria has been trying to penetrate for years. Margaret Harrison's endorsement opens doors that decades of proper social behavior and charitable committee participation haven't been able to access. Victoria is beginning to understand that while she's been playing by traditional Charleston social rules, I've been operating in a different sphere entirely, one where business success and luxury lifestyle integration create faster and more meaningful connections than historical family names and country club memberships. Michael turns from the window, his expression thoughtful rather than shocked. "The art auction events," he says slowly. "That's where you met Lorenzo Benedetti, isn't it? The Italian furniture designer you've mentioned." I'm surprised he remembers Lorenzo's name, given how little attention he's typically paid to my business relationships. "Lorenzo introduced me to his manufacturing partners in Tuscany," I confirm. "That connection launched our European expansion and led to exclusive distribution rights for 3 luxury furniture lines that had never worked with American companies before." "And Lorenzo is flying in for the regatta reception," Michael continues, clearly having paid more attention to my recent conversations than I realized. "Lorenzo and his wife Francesca will be arriving next week," I say. "They want to see how their furniture pieces work in the American luxury yacht environment, and they're considering expanding their partnership with Meridian to include custom nautical designs." Victoria looks between Michael and me as if we're discussing events happening on another planet. The casual mention of international business partners flying in for Charleston social events, the integration of European luxury manufacturing with American lifestyle marketing, the seamless blending of business development with high-profile social gatherings represents a level of sophisticated operation that she never imagined I could orchestrate. "Custom nautical designs," she says weakly. "Yacht interiors represent a growing luxury market," I explain. Lorenzo's traditional Tuscan craftsmanship adapts beautifully to marine environments when combined with appropriate materials and finishes. We're exploring the possibility of offering complete yacht interior design services through Meridian, targeting the same high-net-worth clients who purchase our residential furnishings. The business expansion I'm describing would position Meridian not just as a furniture distributor, but as a comprehensive luxury lifestyle brand. Victoria is beginning to understand that the magazine feature isn't the peak of my business success, but rather recognition of an ongoing growth trajectory that she completely failed to perceive. Michael sits back down, the magazine still in his hands. "Emma, I need to ask you something directly," he says, his voice serious. "What's the actual value of Meridian Luxury Imports? Not just this year's revenue, but the business value if someone wanted to acquire it." His question catches me off guard because it demonstrates a level of business sophistication that I haven't seen from him before. Michael has always been competent at his marketing role in his father's agency, but he's never shown interest in strategic business valuation or acquisition scenarios. Current fair market valuation is approximately $8.2 million. I reply, watching both Michael and Victoria absorb this number. That's based on 3 years of accelerating revenue growth, exclusive supplier relationships, established client contracts, and European expansion potential. Victoria makes a small choking sound. The Thompson family advertising agency, built over 3 generations, might be worth half that amount in a sales scenario. The idea that I've created something potentially more valuable than the family business, starting from nothing and working in secret for 5 years, represents a complete inversion of her understanding about family economic hierarchy and business achievement. 8.2 million, Michael repeats numbly. The valuation could increase significantly if we successfully launch the Yacht interior design services, I continue. That market segment has much higher profit margins and fewer competitors with our level of European manufacturing connections. As we sit in Victoria's pristine living room, surrounded by antique furniture and family portraits representing generations of Thompson achievement in Charleston society, the magnitude of this revelation settles over all of us. I haven't just succeeded in building a profitable business. I've created something that fundamentally alters our family's economic and social positioning in ways that none of us fully anticipated. The silence stretches until Victoria's phone rings again. This time it's Richard, calling from his office at Thompson & Associates. Victoria glances at me nervously before answering, clearly dreading another conversation about information she doesn't possess and implications she doesn't understand. "Richard," she says carefully, "have you seen this morning's Southern Coastal Living magazine?" I can hear Richard's confused response, mentioning that he doesn't typically read lifestyle publications during business hours. Victoria looks at me helplessly, unsure how to explain what she's discovered. "Perhaps you should pick up a copy," she suggests weakly. Emma is featured on the cover. The conversation that follows involves Victoria attempting to explain what she's learned while Richard asks increasingly incredulous questions about yacht ownership, business valuations, and magazine features. Eventually, Victoria hands the phone to Michael, who manages a slightly more coherent explanation of the morning's revelations. "Dad wants to come home for lunch," Michael announces after ending the call. "He's bringing a copy of the magazine and wants to see Serendipity in person this afternoon." Victoria nods absently, still processing everything she's learned. "We should call ahead to the marina," she says automatically, falling back on her instinct for proper social protocol, even when everything else feels chaotic. "The marina staff knows to expect visitors," I assure her. "Serendipity has been featured in enough publications that curious onlookers are common. The marina management appreciates the positive attention for their facility." The casual mention that this isn't the first time my yacht has attracted media attention adds another dimension to Victoria's growing understanding of how thoroughly she's misjudged my business success and social prominence. She's beginning to realize that while she's been focused on traditional Charleston social advancement strategies, I've been building a national and international presence that brings prestige to Charleston rather than deriving prestige from it. Michael walks over to where I'm sitting and takes my hand, a gesture of connection that feels different from his usual casual affection. "Emma, I want you to know that I'm proud of what you've built," he says sincerely. "I'm also embarrassed that I didn't recognize what was happening and support you more actively." His acknowledgement means everything to me because it represents the beginning of genuine partnership, rather than the well-meaning but patronizing support I've received for years. Michael is starting to see me as an equal contributor to our family's success rather than as an accessory to his own career advancement. "I never wanted to overshadow your work at the agency," I tell him honestly. "But I also needed to build something that was mine, something that proved I could succeed on my own terms." Victoria stands up abruptly, startling both of us. "I need to make some phone calls," she announces. Diana will have told everyone about the magazine feature by now, and I need to manage the family's response to this news. Her instinct to control the narrative reveals how deeply this revelation has shaken her sense of family positioning and social management. Victoria has spent decades carefully curating the Thompson family image, and the sudden emergence of a daughter-in-law as a luxury lifestyle entrepreneur featured in prominent publications requires immediate strategic response. What kind of response? Michael asks, clearly concerned about his mother's intentions. Positive response, Victoria clarifies quickly. Proud family response. The kind of response that acknowledges Emma's remarkable achievement while positioning the Thompson family as supportive of entrepreneurial success and luxury lifestyle advancement. I almost smile at how quickly Victoria has pivoted from shocked denial to strategic family image management. She may have completely misjudged my potential and business development, but she understands intuitively how to adapt family positioning when circumstances change dramatically. The regatta reception will require careful planning, Victoria continues, her voice gaining strength as she focuses on actionable tasks rather than overwhelming revelations. If we're hosting 40 guests aboard Serendipity for Yacht Club sponsors and VIP attendees, we need to coordinate with the Yacht Club social committee to ensure proper integration with other regatta events. Her shift from shocked observer to active participant in event planning represents a fundamental change in how she views my social and business activities. Instead of dismissing my achievements as inappropriate or temporary, she's beginning to embrace them as family assets that enhance the Thompson reputation and social positioning. Michael watches his mother transition into planning mode with obvious relief. Victoria in crisis is uncomfortable for everyone. Victoria with a project to manage is in her element and much easier to navigate. Emma probably has the regatta reception. Well organized, he suggests diplomatically. The event coordination is handled by the Yacht Club staff, I confirm, but family support for welcoming international guests and representing Charleston hospitality would be valuable. By framing Victoria's participation as essential for proper Charleston hospitality rather than unnecessary interference, I'm offering her a meaningful role in events that showcase my business success while acknowledging her expertise in local social protocol. It's a diplomatic approach that allows her to save face while accepting the new family dynamics. Victoria nods gratefully. Lorenzo and Francesca will need guidance about Charleston cultural expectations, she agrees. European visitors often appreciate understanding local customs and social nuances. The offer to help with international guest relations gives Victoria a way to contribute meaningfully to my business activities while utilizing her genuine expertise in Charleston social management. It also represents the beginning of collaboration, rather than competition between her traditional social influence and my business-generated prominence. As the morning's shocking revelations settle into a new understanding of family capabilities and social positioning, I realize this conversation marks the end of one phase of my relationship with the Thompson family and the beginning of something potentially much more collaborative and mutually respectful. The shattered crystal has been swept up. The magazine lies open on Victoria's coffee table like evidence of a new reality. And outside the historic windows of her Trad Street mansion, Charleston continues its daily rhythm, unaware that the Thompson family dynamics have just undergone a seismic shift that will reshape how we relate to each other and our community for years to come. Richard Thompson arrives at the Trad Street mansion carrying 3 copies of Southern Coastal Living in Luxury and wearing an expression I've never seen before. Equal parts bewilderment and grudging admiration cross his weathered face as he sets the magazines on Victoria's antique dining table and turns to study me with the analytical gaze he typically reserves for evaluating potential advertising clients. "Emma," he says slowly, extending his hand in a gesture that feels more like a business introduction than a family greeting. "I've just spent the last hour reading about your company's European expansion and yacht acquisition. I believe congratulations are in order." His formal tone carries an undercurrent of professional respect that's entirely new to our relationship. Richard has always been polite but distant, treating me as Michael's wife rather than as an individual with my own accomplishments. This shift to addressing me as a business peer rather than a family appendage represents a fundamental change in how he perceives my place in both family and community hierarchies. "Thank you, Richard," I reply, accepting his handshake with the firm grip I've perfected for client meetings. The magazine coverage has been gratifying recognition for the team's hard work. Victoria emerges from the kitchen carrying a fresh pot of coffee, her composure restored, but her movements still carrying the careful deliberation of someone navigating unfamiliar territory. She's changed into what I recognize as her most expensive, casual outfit, the kind of carefully curated ensemble she wears when entertaining important guests or attending significant social events. "Richard has been making phone calls," she announces, settling the coffee service on her silver tray with practiced precision. Apparently, the business community has been buzzing about the magazine feature all morning. Richard nods, loosening his tie as he settles into his favorite leather chair. "3 different clients called the agency wanting to know if we could arrange introductions to Meridian Luxury Imports," he explains. "The Harborview Resort Development Group is particularly interested in discussing interior design services for their new luxury suite expansion." I raise an eyebrow, surprised by the immediate business interest generated by the magazine coverage. "Harborview is planning luxury suite expansion?" $200 million project, Richard confirms. 50 premium suites designed to attract ultra-high net worth guests seeking exclusive Charleston experiences. They've been struggling to find interior design resources that understand both European luxury standards and Charleston cultural authenticity. The project Richard describes represents exactly the kind of opportunity that Meridian has been positioning itself to capture. High-end hospitality interior design requires the European luxury goods expertise we've developed combined with cultural sensitivity and local market knowledge that larger national firms often lack. That's definitely within Meridian's capabilities, I acknowledge carefully. We've handled similar projects for resort properties on Kiowa Island and Hilton Head, though nothing quite that scale. Michael looks up from his third reading of the magazine article. $200 million? He asks his father. That's larger than anything our agency has ever handled. Richard's expression grows thoughtful as he considers the business implications. The advertising and marketing budget for a project that size would be substantial, he muses. If Emma's company handles the interior design, there might be opportunities for Thompson and Associates to manage the lifestyle marketing and luxury positioning campaigns. I watch this conversation with fascination as Richard's strategic business mind begins identifying potential synergies between my success and the family advertising agency. Rather than viewing my achievements as competition or threat, he's looking for ways to leverage my market position to advance Thompson family business interests. Cross-marketing luxury lifestyle services could be mutually beneficial. I agree diplomatically. Meridian's clients often need comprehensive marketing support for their luxury properties and businesses. Victoria sets down her coffee cup with renewed energy. "This could be wonderful for the entire family," she declares. Emma's European connections combined with Thompson and Associates' local market expertise could create something truly distinctive in the Charleston luxury market. Her enthusiasm represents a complete reversal from her morning shock and dismay. Victoria has processed the reality of my business success and is now actively embracing it as an enhancement to Thompson family's social and economic positioning rather than a threat to established hierarchies. "Before we start planning business collaborations," Michael interjects gently, "I think we should visit Serendipity. Dad still hasn't seen the yacht, and I'd like to understand better what Emma has created." Richard stands immediately, clearly eager to examine the physical evidence of my success. "Excellent idea. I've been curious about the vessel specifications since reading the technical details in the magazine article." As we prepare to leave for Charleston Harbor Marina, Victoria disappears upstairs to change into what she considers appropriate attire for yacht touring. When she returns, she's wearing white linen slacks, a navy blazer, and boat shoes, an outfit that suggests she's taken the time to research proper yacht visiting protocol. The drive to the marina provides an opportunity for Richard to ask detailed questions about Meridian's business operations, supplier relationships, and growth projections. His inquiries demonstrate genuine professional interest rather than polite family conversation, and I find myself explaining market positioning strategies and competitive advantages with the same thoroughness I use for potential investor presentations. The European supplier relationships are exclusive? Richard asks as we navigate downtown Charleston traffic. Exclusive for the Southeast American market, I clarify. Lorenzo Benedetti's furniture lines, for example, have never been available through American distributors before Meridian. Our partnership gives us unique positioning for clients seeking authentic European luxury goods. Michael glances at me in the rearview mirror. And these partnerships require ongoing travel to Europe for relationship management? Quarterly business trips to Italy and France, I confirm, plus annual participation in the major furniture and design exhibitions in Milan, Paris, and Barcelona. Building trust with traditional European craftsmen requires consistent personal attention and cultural respect. Victoria turns in her seat to face me. And you've been managing international business travel without mentioning it to the family? Her question carries curiosity rather than accusation, but it highlights how thoroughly I've compartmentalized my professional life from family interactions. The quarterly European business trips, the international trade show participation, the ongoing relationship development with luxury manufacturers across 3 countries represents a level of sophisticated global business operation that I've somehow kept entirely separate from Thompson family awareness. The travel schedule has been manageable, I reply carefully. Most trips are concentrated around trade show seasons, and Michael's work schedule at the agency has been demanding enough that extended absences weren't particularly disruptive to family routines. What I don't mention is how liberating those European business trips have been, providing opportunities to operate entirely as Emma Rodriguez, successful entrepreneur, rather than Emma Thompson, Michael's wife who dabbles in import business. In Milan showrooms and Tuscan workshops, I'm recognized as a serious American business partner worthy of respect and exclusive access, rather than as someone's spouse pursuing interesting hobbies. Richard navigates the marina parking area with the confidence of someone familiar with Charleston's maritime facilities, though I suspect his previous visits have been for yacht club social events rather than business purposes. As we walk toward the marina office, I notice several people glancing in our direction with expressions of recognition. Mrs. Rodriguez? A young marina staff member approaches us with a bright smile. I'm Tyler from the Marina Management Office. We've been getting calls all morning from people wanting to know about tours of Serendipity after seeing the magazine feature. Victoria looks startled by the casual use of my maiden name, which I've maintained for business purposes. The reminder that I have a professional identity separate from the Thompson family name adds another layer to her ongoing adjustment to my actual role in Charleston's luxury business community. Thank you, Tyler, I reply. We're just bringing family members to see the yacht this afternoon. Has there been much interest from the magazine coverage? 3 different yacht brokers have called asking about specifications, Tyler explains enthusiastically. And the Charleston Harbor Tours Company wants to know if Serendipity might be available for private luxury charters during peak season. Mrs. Harrison from the Yacht Club mentioned that vessels featured in Southern Coastal Living typically see increased charter interest. Richard's eyebrows rise at the mention of charter opportunities. Luxury yacht chartering is profitable? He asks Tyler directly. Premium vessels like Serendipity can generate substantial charter revenue, Tyler confirms, particularly during regatta season, wedding season, and major Charleston events when wealthy visitors want exclusive harbor experiences. As we walk along the marina docks toward Serendipity's slip, I watch the Thompson family absorb this additional dimension of my yacht ownership. They're beginning to understand that this isn't just an expensive luxury purchase, but a business asset with multiple revenue generation possibilities. Serendipity gleams in the afternoon sunlight, her Italian design lines creating an elegant silhouette against the Charleston Harbor backdrop. The yacht's Mediterranean styling stands out among the more traditional American vessels moored nearby, immediately recognizable as something special and expensive. "My God," Victoria whispers, stopping abruptly as we approach the boarding area. "It's enormous." Richard moves forward to examine the yacht's exterior details with the analytical focus he brings to evaluating major business investments. 78 feet, he murmurs, walking along the dock to appreciate the vessel's proportions. Custom Italian construction. This represents a significant capital investment. Michael helps Victoria aboard while I unlock the main salon, revealing the interior spaces that have been featured prominently in the magazine spread. The combination of Lorenzo's custom furniture pieces, carefully selected artwork, and sophisticated lighting creates an atmosphere of understated European luxury that immediately impresses even the most skeptical observer. "This is extraordinary," Victoria breathes, running her hand along the smooth leather surface of the main seating area. "It's like being in a luxury hotel suite that happens to float." I guide them through the yacht's various spaces, pointing out design elements that showcase Meridian's furniture partnerships and demonstrating how the vessel functions both as luxury lifestyle experience and business showcase. The master suite, guest accommodations, full galley, and entertainment areas represent approximately 4,000 square feet of impeccably designed living space. The galley equipment is restaurant quality, Richard observes, examining the professional grade. Appliances. This yacht could handle serious entertaining requirements. The regatta reception will accommodate 40 guests comfortably, I explain, opening the sliding glass doors that connect the main salon to the aft deck entertainment area. The layout flows naturally from interior cocktail service to outdoor. Harbor views. Victoria settles into one of the deck chairs, gazing across Charleston Harbor toward the historic downtown skyline. "And you purchased this entirely through your business income?" Meridian's cash flow supported the acquisition, I confirm, along with favorable financing terms from the Italian shipyard's preferred lending partners. Michael joins his mother. On the aft deck, both of them taking in the panoramic harbor views that make Serendipity such an impressive entertainment venue. "Emma, this changes everything about how I understand your business success," he says quietly. "I've been thinking too small about what you've accomplished." His admission represents the kind of genuine recognition I've been hoping for throughout our marriage. Michael is finally seeing me as a serious entrepreneur, rather than as someone with an interesting side business, and that shift in perception creates possibilities for much deeper collaboration and mutual support. Richard emerges from the lower deck guest quarters looking thoughtful. "The yacht's design integration with your furniture partnerships is sophisticated marketing," he observes approvingly. "Potential clients experience your products in an aspirational lifestyle context rather than just examining them in a showroom." "Exactly," I agree, pleased that he understands the strategic business reasoning behind the yacht purchase. Luxury. Consumers respond to authenticity. They want to work with someone who understands their lifestyle because she lives it herself. Victoria stands and walks to the yacht's bow, where she can see the Charleston Harbor Bridge and the busy maritime traffic that defines the city's character. "And the magazine feature will generate more business opportunities?" The editor mentioned that Southern coastal living readers represent exactly our target demographic, I explain. High-net-worth individuals seeking luxury goods and services, often with multiple properties requiring interior design coordination. As the afternoon progresses, the Thompson family's understanding of my business achievements and social positioning continues to evolve. They're beginning to comprehend not just the financial success I've achieved, but the sophisticated business strategy that created opportunities for ongoing growth and expansion. The harbor pilot's reception next month, Victoria says suddenly. Will there be media coverage of that event? The yacht club typically coordinates press coverage for major regatta events, I reply. Southern Coastal Living has expressed interest in following up on the Meridian story with coverage of how European luxury goods integrate with Charleston social traditions. Richard looks up from his examination of the yacht's navigation equipment. Additional magazine coverage would benefit both Meridian and Thompson family positioning in Charleston business circles. His strategic assessment reveals how quickly he's adapted to viewing my success as a family asset, rather than an individual achievement that exists separately from Thompson family interests. While this recognition feels validating, it also represents a new challenge in maintaining the independent identity I've worked to establish through my business development. Media coverage should focus primarily on Meridian's business achievements and European partnerships, I suggest diplomatically. The Thompson family connection adds interesting local context, but the story should center on entrepreneurial success and luxury market innovation. Victoria nods approvingly. Appropriate business focus while acknowledging family support, she agrees. That strikes the right balance for Charleston's social expectations. As we prepare to leave Serendipity, Tyler approaches the yacht with a clipboard and an apologetic expression. Mrs. Rodriguez, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've had several more inquiries about the yacht since this afternoon. The Charleston Tourism Board wants to discuss featuring Serendipity in their luxury visitor marketing materials, and a wedding planner is asking about availability for a high-profile ceremony reception next spring. The continued stream of interest generated by the magazine feature demonstrates how quickly recognition can translate into business opportunities in Charleston's interconnected luxury market. Victoria and Richard exchange glances that suggest they're beginning to understand the broader implications of my prominence in local business and social circles. We'll discuss these opportunities tomorrow, I tell Tyler. Thank you for managing the inquiries professionally. As we walk back toward the marina parking area, Richard falls into step beside me with the measured pace of someone processing significant new information. Emma, I want to apologize for not recognizing what you were building, he says seriously. The Thompson family should have been more supportive of your entrepreneurial efforts from the beginning. His acknowledgement means something coming from the family patriarch, particularly because it represents genuine professional respect rather than obligatory family politeness. Richard understands business achievement and recognizes that what I've accomplished required substantial skill, persistence, and strategic thinking. I appreciate that, Richard, I reply sincerely. Building Meridian required focused attention, and I wasn't sure how to balance family expectations with the demands of growing an international business. Victoria unlocks the car with deliberate precision, her movements reflecting the careful consideration she's been giving to everything she's learned today. The important thing now is moving forward as a family that supports Emma's continued success while exploring opportunities for collaboration and mutual benefit. Her statement represents a complete transformation from the morning's shock and denial to evening's strategic family positioning. Victoria has processed the reality of my achievements and is now actively embracing them as enhancement to Thompson family's social and economic standing, rather than threat to established hierarchies. As we drive back through downtown Charleston, passing the historic mansions and ancient churches that represent the city's traditional sources of social prestige, I reflect on how dramatically this single day has altered my relationship with the Thompson family and my position within Charleston's complex social landscape. The magazine feature was intended to showcase Meridian's business success and attract new luxury market opportunities. What I hadn't anticipated was how completely it would reshape family dynamics and create possibilities for genuine collaboration rather than the polite tolerance that had previously characterized my relationship with Michael's parents. Tomorrow will bring new challenges as the broader Charleston community processes the magazine coverage and its implications for Thompson family positioning within local business and social hierarchies. But tonight, for the first time since my marriage, I feel like the Thompson family sees me clearly and appreciates what I've accomplished on my own terms. The following morning arrives with an unexpected phone call that changes everything. I'm reviewing quarterly import schedules in my warehouse district office when my assistant, Sophie Chen, rushes in with an expression of barely contained excitement. "Emma, you need to take this call immediately," she announces, holding out the phone with trembling hands. It's Victoria Thompson, and she's crying. I accept the phone with confusion, having never received an emotional call from my mother-in-law in 6 years of family relationship. Victoria's voice comes through the speaker in broken syllables, punctuated by what sounds distinctly like sobbing. "Emma, dear, I need to apologize," Victoria manages between gasps. "I've been horrible to you, absolutely horrible, and I didn't realize until this morning when Margaret Harrison called to congratulate me on having such an accomplished daughter-in-law." Sophie raises her eyebrows and discreetly withdraws to give me privacy for what is clearly becoming a significant family conversation. Through my office windows, I can see the busy activity of Meridian's warehouse operations, containers being unloaded from European shipments, while my personal life undergoes another seismic shift. "Victoria, please calm down," I say gently, genuinely concerned by her emotional state. "What exactly did Margaret say?" "She said," Victoria's voice wavers, "that she's been watching you build Meridian for 3 years and wondering when the Thompson family would start properly supporting your achievements instead of treating you like an afterthought at family gatherings. The revelation that Margaret Harrison has been observing and evaluating our family dynamics adds an uncomfortable dimension to Victoria's distress. Margaret's opinion carries substantial weight in Charleston social circles, and her criticism of how the Thompson family has treated me represents a serious challenge to Victoria's carefully maintained social reputation. "Margaret has always been kind about Meridian's work with yacht club events," I reply diplomatically, not wanting to inflame Victoria's emotional state further. "Kind?" Victoria's voice rises to a pitch I've never heard before. "Emma," she told me, "that you've been handling luxury event coordination for Charleston's most prestigious social gatherings, while I've been introducing you at parties as Michael's wife, who has a small furniture business. She said I've been embarrassing the entire Thompson family by failing to recognize obvious success when it was happening right in front of me." Margaret's assessment, while harsh, reflects the reality of how Charleston's luxury lifestyle community has perceived the disconnect between my professional achievements and the Thompson family's public acknowledgement of them. Victoria's distress stems not just from personal embarrassment but from recognition that her social standing has been damaged by her failure to appropriately support my business success. "Victoria, family relationships are complicated," I offer, attempting to provide some comfort without minimizing her genuine remorse. "No, Emma," she interrupts firmly, her voice gaining strength through determination. "This isn't about complicated relationships. This is about me being blind and jealous, and small-minded when I should have been proud and supportive. Margaret asked me how it felt to watch you receive national recognition for building something extraordinary, and I realized I've never once asked you about your dreams or goals or what success means to you personally." Her admission represents the deepest self-reflection I've ever witnessed from Victoria, who typically approaches emotional situations through social management strategies rather than genuine vulnerability. The fact that she's calling to acknowledge her mistakes rather than attempting to save face through strategic positioning demonstrates real personal growth. "I appreciate you saying that," I tell her sincerely. "It means more than you know." "And there's something else," Victoria continues, her voice steadying as she moves into what sounds like prepared remarks. "Richard and I talked until almost midnight about everything we learned yesterday, and we want to make things right. We want to host a proper celebration for Meridian's success, something that acknowledges what you've accomplished and introduces you to Charleston society as the successful entrepreneur you've always been." The offer catches me completely off guard. Victoria has never proposed hosting events to showcase my achievements, having always focused family social gatherings around Thompson family business milestones or traditional Charleston society obligations. What kind of celebration? I ask, carefully. A reception at the house, Victoria explains, her planning instincts taking over as she describes her vision. Cocktails and dinner for Charleston business leaders, luxury lifestyle influencers, and European partners. We want Lorenzo and Francesca to see that the Thompson family recognizes and celebrates your international business relationships. The proposed reception represents a complete reversal of Victoria's previous approach to my business activities. Instead of minimizing or redirecting attention away from my professional achievements, she's offering to showcase them prominently within Charleston's established social framework. That's a generous offer, Victoria, I reply thoughtfully. But I want to make sure we're clear about the purpose and messaging. This would be a celebration of Meridian's business achievements, not a Thompson family social event that happens to mention my work. Absolutely, Victoria agrees quickly. This is about honoring your success and introducing Charleston society to the remarkable business you've built. The Thompson family connection provides hosting capability and local social context, but you and Meridian are the featured focus. Her understanding of appropriate positioning demonstrates how thoroughly she's processed yesterday's revelations about my actual role in Charleston's luxury business community. Victoria has recognized that attempting to subordinate my achievements to Thompson family identity would be both inappropriate and counterproductive for everyone involved. I'll need to coordinate with Lorenzo and Francesca's schedule, I tell her. They're arriving next week for the regatta events, and adding a business reception would require advance notice for their travel planning. Of course, Victoria replies, eagerly. We can work around whatever timing serves Meridian's business interests best. Richard is already making calls to ensure we can attract the right guest list for maximum business impact. After ending the call with Victoria, I sit quietly in my office processing this unexpected development. The emotional phone call represents more than just family reconciliation. It signals Victoria's complete acceptance of my business success and her commitment to actively supporting my professional growth rather than simply tolerating it. Sophie returns with coffee and a stack of messages that have accumulated during my conversation with Victoria. Everything okay with the family situation? She asks diplomatically. Better than okay, I reply with a smile. Victoria wants to host a reception celebrating Meridian's success and introducing our European partners to Charleston business leaders. Sophie's eyes widen with surprise and approval. That could be incredibly valuable for business development, she observes. Having Thompson family social connections behind a formal introduction to Charleston's luxury market influencers could open doors we haven't been able to access through purely commercial approaches. Her business assessment highlights the strategic value of Victoria's offer beyond personal relationship repair. Charleston operates on relationship-based business networks where social introductions and family connections can accelerate commercial opportunities in ways that traditional marketing approaches cannot achieve. Start developing a guest list that balances business development objectives with social relationship building, I instruct Sophie. We want attendees who can advance Meridian's growth while appreciating the cultural significance of Thompson family endorsement. As Sophie begins coordinating event planning details, Michael calls from his office at Thompson & Associates with news that adds another dimension to the day's developments. Emma, Dad just got off the phone with the Harbor View Resort Development team, he announces, excitement evident in his voice. They want to schedule a formal presentation meeting to discuss interior design services for their luxury suite expansion project. The business opportunity that Richard mentioned yesterday has apparently moved from casual inquiry to serious consideration, demonstrating how quickly the magazine coverage is translating into concrete commercial possibilities. What's the timeline for their decision process? I ask, already mentally reviewing Meridian's capacity for handling a project of that magnitude. They're evaluating 3 design firms over the next month, Michael explains. But the project manager specifically mentioned that your European supplier relationships and luxury hospitality experience make Meridian their preferred candidate if the presentation goes well. The Harbor View opportunity represents exactly the kind of high-profile project that could establish Meridian as the leading luxury interior design resource for Charleston's hospitality industry. Success with a $200 million resort expansion would generate additional referrals and position us for similar projects throughout the Southeast. I'll need to prepare a comprehensive presentation that showcases our European partnerships and demonstrates understanding of Charleston's cultural expectations, I tell Michael. This is the kind of project that could transform Meridian's market position. Dad thinks Thompson and Associates could support the presentation with marketing strategy and local positioning insights, Michael suggests carefully. If that would be helpful rather than intrusive. His diplomatic approach reflects the family's new understanding that my business decisions must be respected rather than assumed. Michael is offering collaboration while acknowledging that I have final authority over Meridian's strategic direction and client relationships. Marketing support could be valuable, I agree, particularly for demonstrating how luxury interior design integrates with overall resort positioning and guest experience strategies. After coordinating presentation planning details with Michael, I spend the remainder of the morning reviewing Meridian's project portfolio and preparing materials that will demonstrate our capability for handling the Harbor View expansion. The Italian furniture partnerships, French textile relationships, and successful luxury hospitality projects create a compelling case for our design expertise and cultural sophistication. Around noon, Lorenzo Benedetti calls from his workshop in Tuscany with news that adds international excitement to the week's developments. Emma, my dear friend. Lorenzo's warmth comes through clearly despite the overseas connection. Francesca and I are preparing for Charleston, and we have wonderful news to share when we arrive. I'm looking forward to seeing you both, I reply, genuinely excited about their visit. The regatta reception will be perfect for showcasing your furniture in the yacht environment. The yacht will be magnificent, Lorenzo agrees enthusiastically. But we also have business proposition that could expand our partnership in ways we have not previously discussed. Francesca has been developing custom nautical furniture designs specifically for luxury yacht market, and we want to propose exclusive American distribution through Meridian. The offer represents a significant expansion of our existing partnership, potentially positioning Meridian as the exclusive American source for custom yacht interior furnishings created by one of Italy's most respected craftsmen. The luxury yacht market continues growing rapidly, and Lorenzo's traditional techniques adapted for marine environments could create substantial competitive advantages. That sounds like an extraordinary opportunity, I tell him sincerely. We can discuss the details when you arrive, and I can show you how your existing pieces work in Serendipity's interior spaces. Perfect, Lorenzo replies. And Francesca is bringing photographs of the new nautical designs so you can evaluate their potential for American luxury yacht market. After ending the call with Lorenzo, I realize that this week is becoming a convergence of opportunities that could dramatically accelerate Meridian's growth and market positioning. The Victoria reception, Harbor View presentation, regatta events, and Lorenzo's nautical furniture expansion collectively represent the kind of strategic development phase that successful businesses experience when multiple positive factors align simultaneously. Sophie returns from her lunch break with updates on the reception planning and additional messages from Charleston business leaders who have seen the magazine coverage and want to explore collaboration possibilities. Charleston. Design Week organizers called, she reports. They want to discuss featuring Meridian in next year's showcase events, possibly with a dedicated exhibition of European luxury goods in Charleston historic venues. Charleston Design Week represents the premier annual celebration of interior, design, architecture, and luxury lifestyle in the Southeast. Being featured as a primary exhibitor would position Meridian prominently within the regional design community while showcasing our European partnerships to thousands of design professionals and luxury consumers. That could be perfect timing for launching Lorenzo's nautical furniture line, I observe. Charleston Design Week attendees include yacht owners and luxury hospitality professionals who would appreciate custom marine interior options. As the afternoon progresses, more calls arrive from potential clients and collaborators interested in Meridian's services after seeing the magazine feature. A private estate owner on Johns Island wants to discuss complete interior renovation using European furnishings. A boutique hotel developer in Savannah is interested in our hospitality design expertise. 3 different yacht owners have inquired about custom interior upgrades using authentic Italian craftsmanship. Each inquiry demonstrates how quickly recognition can translate into business growth when the right audience discovers your capabilities. The magazine coverage has effectively introduced Meridian to Charleston's luxury market in ways that years of traditional marketing might not have achieved. Late in the afternoon, Victoria calls again with updates on the reception planning and guest list development. Margaret Harrison is helping with invitations, she reports happily. She's personally reaching out to yacht club members and luxury lifestyle influencers to ensure appropriate attendance for showcasing Meridian's achievements. Margaret's active participation in event promotion adds substantial credibility and social weight to the reception. Her endorsement will attract attendees who might not otherwise prioritize a Thompson family social gathering, but will definitely attend an event that Margaret considers important. I've also been in touch with the Charleston Business Journal. Editor, Victoria continues. She's interested in covering the reception as a follow-up story about local entrepreneurial success and international business development. Additional media coverage would extend the business benefits of the reception beyond the immediate attendee network, potentially reaching luxury consumers and business partners throughout the Southeast who follow Charleston business developments. That's excellent strategic thinking, I tell Victoria, genuinely impressed by her comprehensive approach to event planning and promotion. I want to do this right, Emma, she replies seriously. I want Charleston society to understand what you've accomplished and to see that the Thompson family recognizes and celebrates your remarkable achievements. Her commitment to proper recognition represents more than event planning. It demonstrates Victoria's genuine transformation from dismissive mother-in-law to active supporter of my professional success. The change feels authentic rather than strategic, motivated by real remorse and determination to repair damaged relationships. As the business day concludes, I review the remarkable developments that have emerged from yesterday's magazine feature revelation. Victoria's emotional apology and reception offer, Michael's presentation collaboration proposal, harbor views, project interest, Lorenzo's nautical furniture expansion, and the various other business inquiries collectively represent the kind of transformational period that entrepreneurs hope for, but rarely experience so dramatically. The convergence of family recognition, business opportunities, and market positioning advantages creates possibilities for Meridian's continued growth that extend far beyond what I anticipated when the magazine first approached me for the feature story. Sophie stays late to help coordinate the multiple scheduling requirements and planning details that have emerged from today's developments. As we work through logistics for the Harbor View presentation, Victoria's reception, Lorenzo's visit, and the regatta events, I reflect on how quickly circumstances can change when recognition reaches the right audience. This is the kind of growth phase that successful businesses dream about, Sophie observes as we finalize coordination details. Everything is accelerating simultaneously in ways that create momentum for long-term success. Her assessment captures exactly how I feel about these developments. After 5 years of steady but relatively quiet business building, Meridian is suddenly experiencing the kind of visibility and opportunity expansion that can transform a regional success into a national presence. As I lock up the office and head home to Michael, I anticipate a conversation that will be fundamentally different from our typical evening discussions about daily work activities. Tonight, we'll be planning collaborative strategies for advancing both Meridian's growth and Thompson family business interests while navigating the complex social dynamics of Charleston's luxury lifestyle community. The magazine feature was intended to showcase Meridian's achievements and attract new business opportunities. What I hadn't expected was how completely it would reshape family relationships and create the foundation for genuine collaboration between my entrepreneurial success and the Thompson family's established Charleston presence. The night of Victoria's reception arrives with Charleston's characteristic spring perfection, warm air carrying the scent of jasmine and magnolia through the historic district, while golden light filters through ancient live oak trees surrounding the Thompson mansion. As my Uber pulls up to the circular drive, I can see that Victoria has transformed her normally pristine but restrained home into something approaching a luxury showcase venue. White string lights drape elegantly between the massive columns of the antebellum portico, while carefully positioned floral arrangements featuring exotic orchids and European roses create sophisticated focal points throughout the entrance area. Professional catering staff move efficiently between the house and discreet service vehicles, their coordinated movements suggesting this is far more elaborate than typical Thompson family entertaining. Michael meets me at the front door wearing an expression of nervous excitement that I've rarely seen from him. "Emma, you need to see what Mom has created," he says, taking my hand as we enter the foyer. "This isn't just a dinner party. It's a full-scale luxury lifestyle exhibition designed specifically to showcase Meridian and celebrate your achievements." The transformation of the Thompson mansion's interior takes my breath away. Victoria has somehow managed to integrate several pieces from Meridian's current inventory throughout her existing antique furnishings, creating sophisticated vignettes that demonstrate how European luxury goods enhance, rather than overwhelm, traditional Charleston elegance. Lorenzo's handcrafted Italian leather seating provides contemporary contrast to 18th century family heirlooms, while French crystal lighting fixtures create intimate conversation areas perfect for business. Relationship development. "Your mother has outdone herself," I tell Michael sincerely, genuinely moved by the obvious effort and thoughtfulness Victoria has invested in creating an environment that honors both my business achievements and Thompson family heritage. Victoria emerges from the dining room wearing an elegant navy silk dress that I recognize from Charleston's most exclusive boutique, her appearance suggesting she considers this evening among the most important social events she's ever hosted. Her face glows with anticipation and what appears to be genuine excitement about showcasing my success to Charleston's luxury lifestyle community. "Emma, dear," she greets me with warmth that feels entirely authentic rather than socially appropriate. "I want you to see what we've created together before the guests arrive." This evening is about celebrating Meridian's remarkable achievements and introducing Charleston society to the international business relationships you've developed. She guides me through the main entertaining areas, pointing out how each space demonstrates different aspects of Meridian's European partnerships while maintaining the sophisticated Charleston aesthetic that her guests expect. The integration of my business inventory with her family antiques creates exactly the kind of cultural bridge that appeals to Charleston's luxury consumers, who appreciate innovation when it respects traditional foundations. The bar area features Lorenzo's new nautical collection pieces, Victoria explains, indicating several furniture items that I hadn't seen before tonight. He and Francesca arrived this morning with prototypes specifically designed for this reception, wanting to debut them in an authentic Charleston social environment. I examine Lorenzo's latest creations with professional interest and personal pride. The nautical furniture pieces demonstrate his signature Italian craftsmanship, adapted for marine environments, incorporating weather-resistant materials and yacht-appropriate proportions while maintaining the luxurious detail work that makes his traditional pieces so distinctive. The fact that he's chosen Victoria's reception for the American debut of these designs represents extraordinary confidence in both my business judgment and the Thompson family's social influence. "These pieces are extraordinary," I tell Victoria. "Honestly." Lorenzo has managed to maintain his artistic integrity while creating furniture specifically designed for luxury yacht applications. Before Victoria can respond, the doorbell chimes with the arrival of our first guests. Through the front windows, I can see Margaret Harrison stepping out of a luxury sedan, followed immediately by two couples I recognize as prominent Charleston business leaders. The evening is officially beginning, and my nervousness mingles with excitement about how Charleston's luxury community will respond to this sophisticated celebration of Meridian's success. Margaret enters with her characteristic grace and social authority, immediately embracing Victoria with genuine warmth before turning to greet me with an expression of obvious approval and pride. "Emma, my dear," Margaret says, taking both my hands in hers. "What a magnificent evening Victoria has planned to celebrate your remarkable achievements. Charleston society has been buzzing with excitement about this reception since the invitations went out. Her endorsement means everything in Charleston social circles, where Margaret's opinion can determine the success or failure of major events. The fact that she's publicly supporting this celebration of my business accomplishments signals to other attendees that my entrepreneurial success deserves serious recognition and respect. Thank you for helping make this evening possible," I reply sincerely. "Your support has meant so much to both Meridian's growth and my relationship with Charleston's luxury lifestyle community." Additional guests begin arriving in steady succession, creating the kind of sophisticated social energy that characterizes Charleston's most successful gatherings. I recognize yacht club members, luxury hospitality executives, prominent attorneys, and financial advisors, several European visitors who must be Lorenzo's colleagues, and numerous other individuals whose presence suggests Victoria has successfully attracted exactly the audience that can advance Meridian's business interests. Lorenzo and Francesca arrive fashionably late, as is appropriate for guests of honor, bringing with them an unmistakably European elegance that immediately elevates the entire gathering's sophistication level. Lorenzo wears a perfectly tailored Italian suit that probably cost more than most people's monthly salary, while Francesca's ensemble demonstrates the kind of effortless style that American women spend fortunes attempting to achieve. "Emma, la mia cara amica." Lorenzo greets me with the warm embrace typical of Italian business relationships that have evolved into genuine friendship. "This evening is magnificent, and your family has created perfect environment for introducing our partnership to American luxury market." Francesca examines the nautical furniture pieces with obvious pride, explaining to gathered guests how traditional Tuscan woodworking techniques adapt beautifully to marine applications when combined with contemporary materials and yacht-specific design requirements. Her explanations attract a growing circle of interested listeners, including several yacht owners who seem genuinely intrigued by the possibility of custom Italian craftsmanship for their vessel interiors. As the cocktail hour progresses, I find myself engaged in a series of substantive business conversations that demonstrate how effectively Victoria has curated tonight's guest list. The Harbor View Resort Development Team wants to discuss presentation scheduling for their luxury suite project. 3 different yacht owners express serious interest in Lorenzo's nautical furniture services. A boutique hotel developer from Savannah proposes collaboration on a complete property renovation using European luxury goods. Mrs. Rodriguez, a distinguished gentleman, introduces himself as William Hartwell from Charleston Private Wealth Management. Your business achievements have been generating significant interest among our high-net-worth clients who appreciate European luxury goods and authentic craftsmanship. Might we discuss how Meridian could serve their residential and yacht interior needs? The inquiry from Charleston's premier wealth management firm represents exactly the kind of high-value client relationship that can transform a successful regional business into a nationally recognized luxury brand. Wealthy individuals who work with private wealth managers typically have multiple properties requiring sophisticated interior design coordination and unlimited budgets for acquiring authentic European furnishings. I'd be delighted to explore collaboration possibilities, I tell William, accepting his business card and making mental notes about follow-up scheduling. Meridian's European partnerships position us uniquely to serve clients who appreciate both authenticity and exclusivity in their luxury goods selections. Victoria approaches our conversation group with obvious satisfaction about how the evening is developing. William, I hope Emma has mentioned Meridian's upcoming expansion into yacht interior design services, she interjects smoothly. Lorenzo's nautical collection specifically targets the luxury yacht market that many of your clients participate in. Her sophisticated understanding of business development and strategic relationship building impresses me almost as much as her genuine enthusiasm for promoting Meridian's growth opportunities. Victoria has clearly invested significant effort in understanding my business model and identifying ways to leverage her social connections for mutual benefit. Yacht interior design represents a natural expansion for our European partnerships, I explained to William. Traditional Italian and French craftsmanship techniques create furniture pieces that maintain luxury standards while meeting marine environment requirements. Before William can respond, Sophie appears at my elbow with an expression of barely contained excitement. Emma, I need to speak with you privately for just a moment, she says diplomatically, clearly having urgent news that requires immediate attention. I excuse myself from the conversation and follow Sophie to a quieter area of Victoria's living room, where she updates me on developments that have emerged during tonight's reception. The Charleston Business Journal editor just called, Sophie whispers urgently. She's received multiple inquiries from Southeast luxury lifestyle publications wanting to feature Meridian in upcoming issues. Apparently, tonight's reception is generating media interest beyond what we anticipated. The prospect of additional magazine coverage represents extraordinary marketing value that typically requires substantial advertising investment to achieve. Multiple publications reaching Southeast luxury consumers could position Meridian as the definitive source for European luxury goods throughout the region's most affluent markets. What kind of timeline are they discussing? I ask, already mentally, reviewing Meridian's capacity for handling increased business volume that additional media coverage might generate. Feature stories in 3 different publications over the next 6 months, Sophie explains, plus potential inclusion in Charleston Design Week promotional materials and Southeast Luxury Lifestyle Exhibition coordination. The media opportunities Sophie describes could establish Meridian as the premier luxury goods resource for the entire Southeast market, creating business volume that would require significant operational expansion and additional European partnership development. Before I can fully process these implications, Michael approaches with news that adds another dimension to the evening's remarkable developments. Emma? Dad just finished talking with the Harbor View project manager, he reports excitedly. They want to schedule your presentation for next week, and they're prepared to discuss exclusive partnership arrangements for interior design services throughout their entire property portfolio. Harbor View's interest in exclusive partnership, rather than project-specific collaboration, represents the kind of strategic business relationship that could provide stable revenue foundation for Meridian's continued expansion. Exclusive hospitality partnerships create predictable income streams while establishing market positioning that attracts additional luxury clients. What does exclusive partnership typically involve? I ask, wanting to understand the scope and implications before committing to specific arrangements. Complete interior design authority for all Harbor View properties, Michael explains. Current resort renovation, future expansion projects, plus potential consultation for their luxury residential development initiatives. The partnership Michael describes would position Meridian as Harbor View's strategic interior design resource rather than simply a furniture supplier, creating opportunities for comprehensive project management and expanded profit margins through design consulting services. As the reception transitions from cocktails to dinner, Victoria requests everyone's attention for brief remarks celebrating the evening's purpose and acknowledging the international partnerships that Meridian has developed. Tonight we celebrate Emma Rodriguez and the extraordinary business she has built, Victoria announces to the assembled guests, her voice carrying genuine pride and admiration. Meridian Luxury Imports represents exactly the kind of entrepreneurial success that enhances Charleston's reputation as a sophisticated business community capable of supporting international commerce and luxury lifestyle development. Her public acknowledgement of my achievements feels transformative after years of subtle dismissal and social minimization. Victoria's recognition represents not just personal validation, but professional endorsement from one of Charleston's most respected social authorities. Emma has demonstrated that American entrepreneurs can successfully partner with traditional European craftsmen while respecting cultural authenticity and maintaining artistic integrity, Victoria continues. Her relationships with Italian furniture makers and French textile manufacturers bring international sophistication to Charleston while supporting local business growth and luxury market development. The audience responds with enthusiastic applause that suggests genuine appreciation for my business accomplishments rather than polite social acknowledgement. Charleston's luxury lifestyle community recognizes real achievement when they see it, and tonight's reception has provided them with compelling evidence of Meridian's success and growth potential. Lorenzo rises to respond on behalf of our European partners, his natural charisma and Italian eloquence creating exactly the kind of international business atmosphere that appeals to Charleston's globally minded luxury consumers. Emma Rodriguez has been exceptional partner for introducing authentic European luxury goods to American market, Lorenzo declares warmly. Her understanding of both European craftsmanship traditions and American lifestyle expectations creates perfect bridge between our cultures. Tonight, we celebrate not just business success, but friendship and cultural exchange that benefits everyone involved. His endorsement carries substantial weight with the assembled guests, many of whom appreciate European authenticity, but lack direct access to traditional craftsmen and luxury manufacturers. Lorenzo's public support for my business capabilities establishes credibility that years of marketing efforts might not achieve. As dinner service begins, I find myself seated between Margaret Harrison and the Harborview project manager, positioning that clearly reflects Victoria's strategic thinking about relationship development and business opportunity advancement. The conversation flows naturally between yacht club regatta planning, European furniture manufacturing processes, and luxury hospitality market trends. Emma, your yacht interior design expansion could significantly impact Charleston's luxury marina market, Margaret observes thoughtfully. Many yacht club members have been seeking authentic European craftsmanship for their vessel interiors, but haven't known how to access reliable sources. The yacht club market represents substantial business potential, given Charleston's position as a premier sailing destination with numerous wealthy yacht owners who prioritize luxury and authenticity in their marine lifestyle investments. Lorenzo's nautical furniture collection specifically addresses that market opportunity, I explain. Traditional Italian woodworking techniques adapted for marine environments create furniture pieces that maintain luxury standards while meeting yacht-specific requirements. The Harborview project manager listens to our conversation with obvious interest in how yacht interior design expertise might enhance their resort's luxury positioning and guest experience offerings. Harborview has been considering luxury yacht charter services for our premium guests, he mentions casually. Having access to yacht interior design expertise could support that business development while creating additional collaboration opportunities with Meridian. The possibility of expanding our partnership beyond resort interior design to include yacht charter support represents exactly the kind of integrated luxury lifestyle services that wealthy consumers increasingly expect from their preferred vendors. As dinner progresses, additional business opportunities continue emerging from conversations throughout Victoria's dining room. A private estate developer wants to discuss European furniture for luxury home sales. Two different yacht owners request consultations about complete interior renovations. A boutique hotel chain expresses interest in standardizing European luxury goods throughout their Southeast properties. Each potential collaboration demonstrates how tonight's reception is functioning as sophisticated business development rather than simple social entertainment. Victoria's guest list and event coordination have created an environment where serious business relationships can develop naturally within Charleston's traditional social framework. Following dinner, Lorenzo and Francesca present a brief exhibition of their nautical furniture collection, demonstrating construction techniques and explaining how traditional craftsmanship adapts to marine environment requirements. Their presentation attracts enthusiastic interest from yacht owners and luxury lifestyle enthusiasts who appreciate authentic European artistry. These pieces represent 500 years of Tuscan woodworking tradition, Lorenzo explains, running his hands along the smooth curves of a custom yacht dining table. Modern materials ensure marine durability while maintaining artistic integrity that connects today's luxury yacht owners with centuries of Mediterranean craftsmanship heritage. Several guests place preliminary orders for custom nautical pieces, providing immediate validation for Lorenzo's investment in developing marine-specific furniture designs. The positive response suggests strong market demand for authentic European craftsmanship adapted to yacht interior applications. As the evening progresses toward its conclusion, Victoria approaches me with an expression of deep satisfaction and what appears to be genuine emotional fulfillment. "Emma, tonight has exceeded my highest expectations," she says warmly. Watching. Charleston society recognize and celebrate your achievements has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've had as a hostess. I'm so proud to be part of your continued success. Her acknowledgement represents complete transformation from the dismissive mother-in-law who once suggested I abandon my business interests to focus on more appropriate family responsibilities. Victoria's evolution demonstrates that people can change fundamentally when circumstances force them to examine their assumptions and prejudices. "Thank you for creating such a perfect environment for business development," I reply sincerely. "Tonight's reception will generate opportunities that might have taken years to develop through traditional marketing approaches." As guests begin departing, many stop to express appreciation for the evening and interest in continued business relationships with Meridian. Business cards are exchanged, follow-up meetings scheduled, and collaboration possibilities discussed, with the kind of sophisticated professionalism that characterizes Charleston's most successful business community. Margaret Harrison provides the evening's perfect conclusion, embracing both Victoria and me with genuine warmth, while offering her continued support for Meridian's growth and expansion. Tonight represents exactly the kind of business celebration that enhances Charleston's reputation as a sophisticated luxury market, Margaret declares approvingly. Emma's achievements deserve this recognition, and Victoria's hosting demonstrates how established Charleston families can support entrepreneurial success while maintaining our community's cultural traditions. Her endorsement validates both my business accomplishments and Victoria's social leadership, creating the kind of win-win outcome that strengthens relationships while advancing everyone's interests. After the last guests depart, the Thompson family gathers in Victoria's living room to process the evening's remarkable success and discuss follow-up strategies for the numerous business opportunities that have emerged. "I've never seen such immediate business development results from a single social event," Richard observes with obvious admiration. "Emma, the relationships you've built tonight could transform Meridian's market position throughout the Southeast." Michael appears equally impressed by the reception's business impact. "The Harbor View partnership alone could provide stable revenue foundation for significant expansion," he notes thoughtfully. Add the yacht interior design opportunities and additional hospitality projects, and Meridian could easily double its current business volume within 12 months. Victoria settles into her favorite chair with the satisfied expression of someone who has successfully orchestrated a complex social and business event that exceeded all expectations. "The important thing now is maintaining momentum while ensuring quality standards," she observes wisely. "Growth opportunities are wonderful, But sustainable success requires careful expansion planning and relationship management. Her business? Insight surprises me with its sophistication and strategic thinking. Victoria's decades of social relationship management have apparently provided her with intuitive understanding of how to maintain quality while scaling operations and managing increased client expectations. Lorenzo and Francesca join our family. Discussion: bringing international perspective to the expansion planning conversation. European craftsmen appreciate long-term partnerships with reliable American distributors, Lorenzo explains. Tonight's success demonstrates market demand that justifies expanded production capacity and additional artisan relationships. Francesca adds practical insights about manufacturing scalability and quality control that will be essential for managing increased business volume without compromising the authenticity and craftsmanship standards that differentiate Meridian from larger commercial furniture distributors. Maintaining personal relationships with individual craftsmen becomes challenging as business grows, she cautions thoughtfully. Success requires systematic approaches that preserve artistic integrity while meeting commercial delivery requirements. As our planning discussion continues past midnight, I reflect on the extraordinary journey that began with magazine coverage leading to family recognition and culminating in tonight's celebration of achievements that were accomplished largely in isolation from Thompson family awareness or support. The transformation from dismissed daughter-in-law to celebrated entrepreneur represents more than personal vindication. It demonstrates how recognition can fundamentally alter relationship dynamics and create opportunities for genuine collaboration that benefits everyone involved. Sophie stays late to coordinate follow-up scheduling for the numerous business meetings and project discussions that emerged from tonight's reception. Her systematic approach to managing increased business complexity will be essential for capitalizing on growth opportunities without compromising existing client relationships or quality standards. We'll need additional staff within 60 days, Sophie observes as she reviews the potential project timeline. The Harbor View partnership alone requires dedicated project management support, and Yacht interior design services need specialized expertise. Her operational assessment reinforces the magnitude of tonight's business development success while highlighting the strategic planning requirements for managing sustainable growth. As I prepare to leave Victoria's mansion, now restored to its normal, elegant but understated appearance, I take a moment to appreciate how completely this evening has transformed my relationship with the Thompson family and my position within Charleston's luxury business community. The magazine coverage that triggered this entire sequence of events was intended to showcase Meridian's achievements and attract new business opportunities. What emerged was recognition that reshaped family dynamics, created strategic partnerships, and established foundation for expansion that could position Meridian as the Southeast's premier luxury goods resource. Michael drives me home through Charleston's quiet, historic streets, past antebellum mansions and ancient churches that represent the city's traditional sources of social prestige and cultural authority. Tonight changed everything, he says thoughtfully, as we navigate the familiar route to our townhouse. Not just for your business, but for how our family relates to each other and our community. His insight captures exactly how I feel about tonight's developments. The reception succeeded in celebrating Meridian's achievements while demonstrating that business success and family relationships can enhance each other when recognition replaces dismissal and collaboration replaces competition. Your mother exceeded every expectation I had for tonight, I tell him honestly. She created an environment that honored both business achievement and family support in ways that felt authentic rather than obligatory. Michael parks in our driveway and turns to face me directly. Emma, I want you to know that I finally understand what you've been building and why it matters so much. I also want to be a genuine partner in whatever comes next, not just supportive husband, but active collaborator in advancing both our careers. His commitment to equal partnership represents the relationship evolution that I've hoped for throughout our marriage. Michael's recognition of my business capabilities creates possibilities for collaboration that could advance both Meridian's growth and Thompson family business interests. As we enter our townhouse, I notice that Michael has prepared a bottle of champagne to celebrate tonight's success, along with a handwritten note expressing his pride in my achievements and commitment to supporting my continued growth. To Emma Rodriguez, he toasts formally, entrepreneur, visionary, and the woman who showed the Thompson family that success comes in many forms when we're wise enough to recognize and celebrate it. The next morning arrives with phone calls from potential clients, media outlets requesting interviews, and European partners interested in expanding their American market presence through Meridian's demonstrated success in Charleston's luxury community. Victoria calls early to share her own satisfaction with the reception's outcome and to begin planning follow-up events that will maintain momentum while expanding Meridian's visibility throughout the Southeast luxury market. Charleston society is still talking about last night, she reports happily. 3 different hostesses have asked me to coordinate similar receptions for their own family business celebrations. Her success as event coordinator opens additional opportunities for Victoria to leverage her social skills while supporting business development that benefits the entire Thompson family. As I review the business opportunities and relationship developments that have emerged from magazine coverage through family recognition to last night's celebration, I realize that success often creates more possibilities than originally anticipated, when the right people finally understand what you've been building. The yacht that started this entire sequence of revelations sits peacefully in Charleston Harbor, serving as both symbol of achievement and platform for continued business development. Through regatta receptions and luxury lifestyle marketing, Meridian Luxury Imports has evolved from regional furniture distributor to sophisticated luxury lifestyle brand with international partnerships, exclusive hospitality relationships, and growth trajectory that positions us for national market expansion. Most importantly, the Thompson family relationships have transformed from polite tolerance to genuine collaboration, creating foundation for mutual support and shared success that enhances everyone's individual achievements. The magazine feature that showcased my business accomplishments ultimately revealed that recognition and respect can reshape family dynamics in ways that create opportunities for authentic relationship building and collaborative growth that benefits everyone involved. Charleston continues its daily rhythm of historic preservation and modern innovation, now including Meridian among the businesses that enhance the city's reputation as sophisticated luxury market, capable of supporting international commerce and entrepreneurial success. The future holds possibilities that seemed unimaginable just weeks ago, when I was simply Michael's wife who had an interesting import business rather than Emma Rodriguez, luxury lifestyle entrepreneur whose achievements deserve celebration and whose continued growth represents opportunity for everyone willing to support authentic success. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out!